What's up, guys? So I actually just got done wrapping up the video on the must-dos after every used vehicle purchase. And for starters, holy crap, this thing turned out absolutely amazing. I'll throw a link to it in the description if you did miss that video. But pretty much the point of that was to get our eyes on as much of the truck as we possibly could. And so, unfortunately, we did find a couple of surprises. And you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be addressing the exhaust. So I was working my way front to back. We got here to the rear. And I was like, you know what? I don't really like that tip. It was super crusty before I decided to go ahead and wash it. So I was going to take it off. So I got down here, I loosened it, and then I saw that. Holy freaking crap. That is a gaping hole. I figured what better time than now to go ahead and lop that baby off and do an axle dump. And it should sound better. Kind of hard with compounds, but maybe it'll sound better. It's definitely going to look better, and it's going to begin our journey of unstormtroopering this thing. Now, I do love the Stormtrooper look. It is great. But we can't just keep the truck how it is. We got to change it up.
So much torque, the chassis twisted coming off the line.
Catching back up with y'all the next day. We got some absolutely beautiful 75-degree weather going on, minus the wind, which hopefully doesn't mess us up. And we kind of got a little Dodge corner going on over here today. I'm Ram Brothers, gosh dog. But y'all see the tip selection. We got a boatload to try out today, and then obviously decide on which one we think looks and sounds best. And that's the one we're going to stick with. But for starters, we got this giant bed stack. It's the angled top. It looks pretty freaking cool. I ain't gonna lie. I think it looks sick on this truck. Bring back bed stacks 2026. Let me know. Next up is going to be the 4 to 5 inch elbow, which was on cheat code. It's honestly pretty clap, but we should probably be able to clean it up if we wanted to keep that. If the pipe will allow it to look right, that might actually be a really good option. Then we've got a 5 to 7, I believe, and I think I have an adapter. So this is a 4-inch straight pipe, but I think I have an adapter to go from 4 to 5, and then we could put the tip on that, so that could work. Then we got a 4 to 7, 4 to 8. Looks like it's an 8. That might be a 5 to 6. I don't know. Either way, that's probably going to be our best bet for the proper axle dump. This is just a little prop joke. The old Rice Rocket tip. And then Big Chungus right here. This is a 5 to 10, 5 to 12. It's actually off the Duramax, and it's the one that's on my head in the thumbnail. Absolutely monster freaking tip. But enough yapping. Let's go ahead and start by getting that ugly thing off of there. Now, it might be because we had some really cold weather this year, but I ain't gonna lie, your boy's about to start sweating. It's only 75 degrees, but I can already feel that sunburn coming on, so add an extra 30 to that. Holy crap. Let's don't do that this summer, please. Either way, that already looks better right there. Joint, that thing's going in the garbage. All right, let's see what we can slide on there and see how it changes. Actually, just for the laughs, I want to go ahead and slap this guy on there and see how she sounds, because it's a 4-inch as well. Oh, dude, that's her. That's typical Cummins stuff right there. Enough goofing with this bull crap. Let's go ahead and snatch this baby off and grab the Sawzall. We'll start chopping her up. I think next up is going to be the elbow. So probably right here is where we're going to want to cut it. Nice. Let's see if we can slide this elbow on there. Oh, dude. It's a little low, but not freaking bad. A little clean, not oversized elbow on her. Okay, it looks terrible from back here. It looks terrible from back here, but it does look pretty clean from the side. Let's see how she sounds. Now the big question is, how the crap are we gonna get in there to cut this thing? Not any fun way, I know that much. So here's our hole. What do y'all think caused that? It's not at the bottom where it would be collecting any kind of moisture or anything. Thickness is pretty good on this pipe. What the crap would cause that? Was there a hanger there, y'all think? Somebody smacked the hanger on there and it just tugged its way off. That's the only thing I can really think of. Either way, to the scrap pile that goes. And now we have a perfect spot for, I guess we'll just throw the proper one on here. I don't want to do the whole adapter of the 5, and no, that's going to go back on the Duramax. Big lifted truck, makes more sense on there. Let's just put the old tried and true 4 to 7 or 8 or whatever this is. Work this big boy. No, it's going to hit our spare tire. It's not. It's going to be freaking perfect. Holy crap. Oh, dude. That is going to be so freaking good. Holy crap. Yes. That is going to be absolutely perfect. I'm freaking hyped for that. That was like it was made to be there. That is so freaking good. Let me grab a rag and wipe this baby down. Now, before we fully check out our new exhaust, crank it up, go for a drive, get a bunch of sound clips, all that good stuff, we've got a few things to install thanks to our boys over at Last Fit, because this truck has a bunch of bulbs that either are barely working or don't work at all. And so a bunch of fresh white LEDs all around is going to make this thing look so much better. Also, quick question, should we finish the Panda Bear Stormtrooper look? I saw a bunch of people saying, because we're changing the whole scheme of this thing. Before we start doing that, because obviously once we get rid of the black wheels, all the other black stuff is just, it's not going to make sense. Do we complete it? We'll go ahead and start on the inside, because as you see, a whole lot of nothing. The back are super dim and like green even. Now on this specific overhead console, you actually don't pop the lenses off. We're going to be addressing the lights from the top of this guy. So we've got one Phillips head screw. Get this guy out, we should be able to pop it down, get access to those lights. This is always scary. Always scary. There we go. So here's what we're working with from the backside. As you see, this one looks like it's on, like it's barely glowing, but it's not affected when you turn them on or off, either one. Hopefully we don't have a wiring gremlin going on right now. I know it is a 3rd gen, we'll just have to see. Either way, there's little ears right here on the backside. On the inside, you're gonna grab those, push them in, and this whole thing should slide far enough back to actually swap the bulbs out. And we're gonna be throwing in these Last Fit L-T10s. Y'all ready for a thing of beauty? Oh, look at that. I'm so stoked. I was really worried we were gonna have some kind of wiring gremlin going on, but nope, we just had some bad LEDs. Now on this one, we've just got a little tab. Should be able to hook in here and swing it down. Just like, oh, freaking bugs. And for these, we've got the L42 millimeter. Pop those in. Oh, that's a thing of beauty, boys. Well, I couldn't for the life of me find my stash of Last Fit bulbs to swap that guy out, but I know the moment I quit looking for them, they'll appear in the most obvious place ever. But I went ahead and swapped out our cargo lights, our 3rd brake light, and our tag lights, which we'll of course see all of these once it gets dark. I took our brake light out and unfortunately found the old way of making LEDs work on your non-LED factory truck. So 3rd gens especially, but most all older trucks that came with halogen lights, they don't read LEDs properly. And so you'd have to do the workaround, which is LED bulb and then a resistor, so that you didn't get hyper flash or they didn't work at all. It's just additional work that you no longer have to do. So we were and we will be in the future, once I have time to undo all this bullcrap, be installing Last Fit's D2 series lights. These apparently have no compatibility issues, so you don't have to do any kind of resistors or anything like that, and they're apparently a whole lot brighter than factory, which is always nice. We'll address this at some point. Don't have time to do it today, but these are the go-tos, so you don't have to do that bullcrap. anyways, well, we done run all our diesel out doing this exhaust video. First time me putting some in. Hopefully this doesn't have a lock on it. But I only got 15 bucks. I only had cash. Lauren snatched my card this morning because she's getting her hair done. So, down to my daggone last dollar. Come on, baby. 15. And we would prefer to get it before potentially having the whole tank underground get stirred up. Hopefully some good diesel going in here. Hopefully. Drove all the way here so I didn't have to get crap diesel near my house. We'll see. Now, obviously, I'm not sure yet because I haven't looked back at the footage on how good the sound comes through on the exterior clips. But as far as the interior, it sounds significantly better in here with the exhaust ran like this with the tip pointed down. Before, honestly, you could barely even hear the exhaust note. You just heard that big turbo spool up once it did, and that was really it. Whereas now, there's a lot of good exhaust notes, especially in 6th gear when it's actually lugging a little bit. But even just, you know, driving around normal, you can actually hear the exhaust, which is obviously amazing because that's one of the, really the only downside to the compounds is they muffle everything so much that it is sad. Incredible power, just not the best noises. I don't know why every one of my vehicles want to have a belt chirp now. The exhaust is there. It's echoing off the ground. See, we're in 4th gear going 30 miles an hour right now, and you can just hear it back there lugging. Oh, it actually sounds like a Cummins, which is such a nice thing because, like I said before, you really just couldn't hear the exhaust note, which was depressing. That's like the whole reason why Cummins is, well, it's not the whole reason, but it's one of the huge perks of a Cummins is the freaking exhaust note is diabolical. We'll get on her a little bit right here. Actually, we're gonna have a truck in front of us. We're not gonna be able to get on it, but we're gonna do a little acceleration. We'll see how it sounds. Yes, we're gonna get this thing up to speed and see if she'll drop down in 6th gear for us. I've been running in tune 3, which I feel is like the most dialed in tune, but it is the one that holds the torque converter in 4th gear the most. So there's 6th gear lockup. I don't know how well that translates to the camera, but dude, it's got that deep Cummins rumble finally. Before it just, like I said, it just didn't. Holy freaking crap. Tow haul mode don't freaking play. Holy moly. All right, guys, well, that's gonna be a wrap for this video. Definitely drop a comment and let me know what you think about the new exhaust tip on the 3rd gen. Holy crap at the sunset. This thing is looking absolutely disgusting. But personally, I absolutely love it. Not only do I think it sounds better, but it looks so much better than that big black tip. Not even big, little black tip hanging down so low. Oh, it's so freaking clean. Reminds me so much of the LBZ right after we got it. That's one of the first things that we did was the axle dump on it. Might even have been that same exact tip. It was pretty much just like that. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I think it looks amazing on here. And I do think there is definitely a dramatic sound change, at least in the interior while driving. Maybe it is because all that sound is going straight down onto the ground rather than shooting out of the side, but it seems way more throaty and a lot more Cummins-like inside driving the truck now, which is freaking awesome. And it's the first of many, many exhaust setups on this truck, because y'all know we got to do the full 5-inch straight pipe. We got to do, you know, who knows how many different tips after that. And somewhere along there, there's going to be the 2G swap, which is what's going to make this thing go from pretty mellow to absolutely disgusting sounding. I cannot wait for that. But we've got a few maintenance items. We're calling them maintenance items. You'll see in the next video. Definitely going to be a little bit on the more serious side of things. But with that said, hope you enjoyed. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, ring that bell notification. I'll see y'all boys in the next one.